I just drew no face, and I took a photo with my camera, and I also did a scan. If I have it small enough to fit on a flatbed scanner, I usually will, so that I can work in controlling the light source. So see these bright whites? Sometimes I like the natural look of this though, where like I want to be able to keep that background element. Crop this in and make it look like a little postcard. Now, let's say you needed to adjust your coloring because you did this with your camera and you really want those whites. Usually I go up to images, image adjustments, and I go to curves. And what I do is, see if I click here, it shows me where that color is, and then I can pull this mountain range until that color right there is the one I'm looking for. Still a little on the yellow side. But even after that, still, see, you can see this like tone of like orange over here. That yellow is going to keep showing up, right? Just to give you a kind of idea. You really want the bright whites? You can scan it, all right? You can use the lasso tool, and usually what you can use is lasso around stuff you don't want, and if white is your background, lasso this and make it white. Because I didn't use a scanner and this has color to it, what I can do is either see if I can use the content aware fill and see if I get lucky, because sometimes that will just pull it out and I'll get the color I want. So see this little stamp tool? The stamp tool, you tell it where you want to suck up, right? I'll say I'm going to suck up right here, and then if I want to clean from that little area, I can. Now you need to make some layers and play with opacities and blending modes. Bear with me while I'm using the trackpad. New layer. Alright, now we're going to do flats. So, strangely enough, the best way to do this is to use the magic wand, right? And I can suck up this area, but I do need to tell it has to sample all layers. And I'm going to suck up all of this, and then I'm going to blend fill it. Now, crazily enough, the secret thing that no one ever told you is we call it. Here, grow right here. You just want to grow it by 1 pixel, right? So that when you flood fill it, it kind of catches that little bit over there. Okay? Oh, also keep it on the pencil too. Flood filled, and just like that, it's flood filled. Okay? And when I'm on the pencil tool, that means I have a nice hard edge. And I expanded it so it went out 1 more, which kind of helps. Drop that underneath. Now, see how this is white? If I put this to multiply, all of a sudden, it's saying don't show the white, all right? And then, so imagine, here's your lines on a multiply layer. I can go and kind of add this and see how, like, it just goes underneath it really perfectly. Notice, I'm just doing fills. Magic wand, shift to hold more than 1 at a time. Look, grow, fill. Oh, and if I do non-continuous, all layers. And just always check to make sure you're on your color layer. Show you guys again. If I make this and this layer go away, you can kind of see what I'm doing. Nice. I forget what no face's face fits on. Oh, remember how I said expand fill? If you don't expand fill, you get those funny little layers right there. But let's say you're like, Ms. McGuire, I don't like using the fill tool. Why are you using the fill tool? Like, I'm using the fill tool because I usually do this when I'm coloring comics and I have like to do things as quickly as possible. And you're like, but I want to use the brush tools. Sure, use the brush tool. See that? Brush tool works fine. Brush tool works fine. Brush tool works fine. Some of you guys might be like, okay, Ms. McGuire, this is all flats. That's awesome. But I want to see some indirect color magic. Okay, so here we go. I'm going to make a new layer. Control Shift N, new layer. Now, a couple of ways to do this. One of the easiest ways that I've found is just go to black, set it at like 20%, right? And like legit, everywhere you draw, you're gonna get like a layer of shadow. And this is like a super fast way to drop in shadows, but some people might be like, but that's not hue shifting. I'll power it in, and then you can hue shift it as you want. And you can kind of see, it's like, oh, okay, I like that better. That's like warmer and it's not so cold as the other color you had. Indirect color means is I can tweak it, right, as needed. If you're doing shadows, keep it between like 10 and 15% or like 5 and 25. You suck up a color and you make it a little bit lighter, right? Give yourself a new layer, right? You can draw right where you want it. And there also are different blending modes too, like if you toggle through these. Lighten, that's the same kind of thing. Color dodge is really nice. What I want you to think about is base tone, shadow, and highlight, multiple layers with the color distortions from the photo itself. So I'll probably work my way in layers, almost like washes of watercolor. Oh, that's really weird. Oh, my tolerance is really low. That's what that is. A lot of the times, if it's not doing anything at all what you expect, just mess around with it until you figure out what's going on. And usually look at the properties and see if something, just like mess with them. Especially if you're at like school and you're using. Oh, by the way, I gotta put it on multiply. Otherwise, you won't be able to see the line work underneath. I think I need my lines to be way darker, so I'm gonna go into curves. There we go, so much better. Alright. Like I said, multiply is your friend. Multiply is your friend. And that way your line work shows up and you can be kind of messy and totally do this without trackpad. And some of you guys might be like, Ms. War, what? Something new. Give us a new tool. Give us something new. Oh, where you can like take your little finger and rubber. Dodge and burn. Where's dodge and burn? They're a reference to old school photography where you would burn the film to make really cool effects that were very like dramatic, but you can totally use them to do. That's how you make like firefly effects. Generally, find out what other tools people like and mess around with them until you figure out what tools you like. See what lots of people do. So cute! Cute, cute, cute!